Emily Dickinson's poems are seen to be ambiguous and contradictory. The punctuation is generally random. Her writing style is melancholy. But why is this? Why do her themes revolve around death? We can say Dickinson's poems were her own personal reflections.
Perhaps the poem echoes the emotional torment present in her life, maybe even a reflection of her reclusive nature. The poem, "It Was Not Death, For I Stood Up," gives us an insight into the emptiness and helplessness running through her life. This emptiness, reflected through the space that stares all around, envelops her. The space is a nothingness. She is in her room, her own little bubble, devoid of human company, dead to only the figures I have seen, but not engaged with them. She is only eyes.
Dickinson writes contradiction. It may be to reflect its presence in society. Nevertheless, the contradictions presented in "It Was Not Death, For I Stood Up" portray an uncertainty about life, maybe even death. The use of 4 lines against 6 stanzas, quatrains, can be perceived as a coffin, the symbol for death and theme of the poem. Whilst the neatness of this coffin, of the structure, directly contradicts the insanity that plagues the speaker. The words chaos, stopless, cool, mirror a life that does not stop.
Imagery is a prominent part of Dickinson's poetry. Nearly every word has a hidden meaning. For example, Dickinson's mention of cool and frost creates a chilling feeling. This is directly juxtaposed to the heat ignited through fire and the feel of siroccos. This transition between heat and cool reflects contemplation and uncertainty. To further emphasize this, Dickinson makes repeated use of dashes throughout the poem. A dash is a symbolic pause. Everything that ticked has stopped. This pause is Dickinson's way of saying that life for her has stopped. She feels trapped and fitted to a frame, and feels as if she's been placed in a metaphorical box. This space is where she feels emptiness the most.
Dickinson was a recluse. Her poetry was mainly kept to herself. This meant she spent a lot of time alone. It Was Not Death, For I Stood Up is a poem that reflects the emptiness and darkness one feels when there is no one around. The contradictions, the empty space, the darkness, all amalgamate to provide an explanation as to what emptiness is. It is to justify despair.